What is up, everyone? I just had a rookie moment. Didn't unmute. So, how is everyone doing? It's a beautiful Friday afternoon here. I hope everyone is having amazing weather where you're at. Still kind of hot today. It was like in the 50s last night, and it's in the 90s right now, which kind of sucks, but what else has been going on today? Let's see. I had to weigh in. That's always exciting. Other than that, I've just been like vegging out watching American Horror Story because all the good Halloween movies are just nowhere to be found right now. They're all cheesy. So, hello, Lion Mama, Libby, Fluffy, Skunk, Paisley, Queen Ashley, Amber, Navy Mom. It's good to see everyone. So, today we are going to talk about something that was brought to my attention a few weeks ago, um, maybe a month ago. And it was a community post that I don't know, it's so funny. We all know, right, that Easy had court this week, okay? And the outcome of that, we've heard people talk about it. He basically needs more time because he can't find a lawyer that he can afford. Blah, 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 blah. Buddy, you've had your child's entire life to prepare for that moment, okay? Okay? And you failed to do so. You failed to do a lot of things in that child's life. So now you have this chick, right, who has made her rounds through all of YouTube pretty much, um, which is just weird in itself. But, apparently it's pretty serious because you could afford to go visit her, right? And you did that stupid little thing where you hopped on and made sure everyone saw that you were drinking out of a cup that says Jajajajaaaa. It actually said Alicia, but still. You made sure everyone saw that. And but nobody's like really come out and talked about it, right? Maybe you have on your channel. I don't ever go over there. And Jajajajaaaa doesn't really do anything on her channel anymore except make community posts. And I think they've been deleted now, but I have them. And one was like a happy birthday post, and it said, "Happy birthday, James. 32 is going to be greater than 31, but you already know that. Smoochy face, blah, 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 blah." They're real cute, right? So cute. Ugh. And then there was this other one. Let me pull it up. Um, where did it go? Okay. When God and the universe speak to you, listen. God created you to love me and me to love you. I'm certain you are my destiny. The world around us doesn't exist when we are together, as you are my world. What the fuck? In theory, that idea seems great, right? Like everybody wants that type of relationship in their life, I guess. Ugh. And then she included this I mandated myself. She does love him so big. And I don't know if you guys got to hear all of that, like, crazy little poetry reading that I just did, but I'll gladly post it on my community page because I think if I try to go back to it, I'll drop again. But yeah, this is where we're at. It's the great American love story, right? So this chick who once tried to ride BK stick has now moved on to the Timu BK. And if anyone doesn't know what a twin flame is, okay, I'm going to educate you guys today. There are basically like three types of relationships. There's what's known as the twin flame. There is a karmic partner, and that person you cross paths, and they're going to be the relationships that like teach you lessons. Like, you just think of every bad relationship that you've ever had, those are your karmic partners. Then you have your soulmate, someone that you just, you a lot of people say I feel complete with him, and that's all fine and good, but it's just kind of like it's comfortable, it's meant to be, you're happy together, you don't have any like major problems outside of the normal ups and downs of any relationship. Now, a twin flame is much more complicated because it's exactly that. A twin flame is the other half of you. The way you can look at it is your twin flame is the other half of your soul in another body. So when you meet this person in life, you like you get a sense that you've known them forever, even if it's the first time you've ever laid eyes on them. You just feel like you've known them for many lifetimes, and you can actually be in relationship with this person in other lifetimes. Now, typically when you come across your twin flame, it's someone that you meet at one point in your life, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out. Even though you want it to work out, you're happy with this person, you love this person, it's just not going to work out. And the reason being is because there is some inner work that you need to do on yourself, and there's some work that they need to do on themselves in order for you to come back together and be complete and be whole. So what usually happens is you meet this person and it's great for a while, and then you part ways. It could be a month, it could be a few weeks, it could be a couple of years, it could be 30 freaking years, honestly. And then you do all that work on yourself that you need to do over that period of separation. Then when you come back together, it's all good. You're still going to have little ups and downs, but it's you've done everything you needed to do to fix the trauma in your life and overcome the things that you needed to do in order to be a complete whole person. Now, the reason this is so funny to me is because this bitch has tried to her way with so many people, and she's kind of overbearing with it. She was overbearing with me. There was a point in time when like I didn't have anything against her. I didn't really know much about her. She was one of my mods. I talked to her a little like through Discord and stuff. She knew a little bit, a tiny, tiny fraction of stuff that I was going through at one point. But something always told me, like, pump the brakes. Don't like let this chicken too much. And then I started hearing whispers about how shady she was and she couldn't be trusted. It was just all kinds of stuff. So when we saw her, well, I'm not going to speak for everyone. When I saw her start to hang out over in his chat and like get cozy and the whole love you, Jajajajaaaa, smoochy face and this and that, like I saw the cycle repeating itself. And I knew that it was just going to be a matter of time that either he was going to get tired of her being like that, or she was going to just weasel her way right in. And congratulations, Jaja. It looks like you won the prize. Now, I don't know what the fuck kind of prize you were looking for, because when you look at what a twin flame is, right, it's a mirror image of yourself. So basically, you have won the prize that does not take care of his children, who will not work a real job, who thinks he's famous, who obviously treats women like objects, and who really is not going to do a thing for you except probably leech off you, mooch off you, and use you up, and then toss you aside when there's nothing left. This is not your soulmate, girl. This is not your twin flame. This isn't even one of those sparkly birthday candles that you can't blow out. But to see all of this unfold is embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. Be embarrassed that you post this crap for everyone to see. Be embarrassed that all of YouTube knows that he's a deadbeat dad. That's what you need to be concerned with, because your twin flame went to court 2 days ago and couldn't be bothered to be concerned about getting this rectified so he can take care of his child. Now, don't get me wrong. The child in question has an amazing mother who is doing everything she can for him. And that boy is not missing out on any love whatsoever. But if you two yahoos get in that child's life, I cringe to think of what he would be subjected to. No, and that's true, Amber. She has like 4 or 5 kids. They could just combine them all and have a sports team. But let's be honest, neither one of them are interested in anything like that. This is just, and I understand being lonely and wanting to fill a void, and you want to have a relationship and you want to have a partner in life. I get it. Nobody wants to be alone. But could your picker be any more screwed up, Jaja? It's quite sad. What, Freeside has a strip club? Yes, let's not forget the twerking instructional video. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that she posts or shares, or I would be ashamed. Oh, yeah, hippies, my ex twin flame. Like, you either have one or you don't. People typically, like, if you believe in all that stuff, right? Which I do. I believe in all of that. Anything having to do with astrology and all of that stuff, I'm all for it. And people do usually have at least one. Can you have more than one twin flame? No, because then it would be triplets, right? Or quadruplets or whatever else. That's true. She will not allow her ex to see the children, and that's dirty in itself. But she wants to whine and cry that, she doesn't have any help. And, she claims to be that she came out of the worst, most traumatic situation that just trumps everyone else's trauma. I believe that, Lion Mama. I believe that he is, because you guys are so similar. And that's the thing. You can usually tell because you will be very similar to that person. So that's another red flag for me when looking at the two of them. I'm just not buying it. And, who am I to judge someone else's relationship or look at it and be like, no, that's just not true. But knowing everything that I know and all the things that I have studied about it and read about it and comparing it to my own situation, No, I think this was just something that came along and she would like it to be the fairy tale. But the best predictor of the future is the past, right? So seeing how he has conducted himself with previous relationships, I would be running in the opposite direction. And let's be honest, I've seen the twerking video. She is not going to get a starring role in one of his music videos anytime soon. Right. She does want to be with someone who doesn't want to see his kids and someone who doesn't even live in the same country. Have things gotten so bad for you? Have you run through everyone locally that you have to find someone from another country? Like, how is this going to work out? Which one of you are relocating? Because I don't think that he is going to relocate out of the comfort of the basement anytime soon. And it would be a lot of work for you to pick up and move to where he is. Come on. So if you want to go balls to the wall with someone who can't even be in the same room with you on a regular basis, don't get me wrong. Long distance stuff happens all the time and it can totally work out. But you have to have two level headed people who are willing to put in the work and the effort in order to get to the end result. And I don't think either one of these idiots have what it takes to make it happen. Hell no, he's not leaving his mama's basement. Yeah, that's true. She did run through everyone in her town. I'm going to take this moment to e-beg for a minute. My Cash App is running across the screen. I have a very exciting thing coming up at the end of the month that I'm trying to scrape together money for. I could go into detail about my side story, but just know it's a shitty situation. I'm kind of on my own here. So, I do what I got to do aside from twerking on a video and sending it to people in order to make it happen. I really can't give a lot of details because a lot of it is a surprise for someone. But if you would like to send any money whatsoever, it's $ CJ0024. Everything is appreciated. Every little bit helps. And that's that. So, oh no, definitely don't take away from giving to any of the storm relief to give to little old me. I definitely encourage you to do that first. Totally get it. Um so this whole twin flame thing has really been bugging the shit out of me since I found out about it. Because on the one hand, there's this chick, right, who I really don't care for. She's not my cup of tea. She's not someone that I would hang out with in my real life. But at the same time, she is a human being, right? And if I can stop someone from getting into a shitty situation, then I'm going to talk crap about it and hopefully they make the right decision. He is not going to do a thing for you. And I'm really doubtful that you're going to do a thing for him other than give him a place to go hide out when he wants to leave the basement. I just don't. Someone asked earlier if I thought or if we as a collective thought that this romance would last. And I've said doubtful. And that is how I see it. I think this thing is going to go up in flames. I think that's going to happen. And I think that YouTube is probably going to have to hear about it, which I don't care. Dirty hot dog water. Ugh. So, when you're looking at your relationships and you're wanting to decide, is this person my twin flame? It sounds amazing, right? It seems like it would just be the picture of perfection. What could go wrong? This is Hey, Ash, this is like the other half of you. Well, I'm here to tell you that a twin flame relationship can also be the most hurtful and hardest thing you can go through because, on one hand, at some point it's going to feel like you're having your heart ripped out of your chest. And then on the other hand, when you finally make it back to union, however much time passes, it can be a beautiful thing. But it takes work. These idiots are not equipped to deal with it because they're both obviously very immature and going through life with their heads stuck in the clouds. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the people who twerk in their living room floor while ignoring children. And it's not for people who don't want to man up and take care of their responsibilities. Because that goes to show me that there's no way in hell that you guys are ready for this twin flame relationship, because neither one of you have done the work on yourselves that needs to be done in order to have a happy and successful relationship. Sweetie Pie, you are just another notch in his belt. If he even wears one, something probably tells me that he doesn't. His pants probably sag to his knees. And for you, he is just another unsuspecting chump who has no idea what he's getting himself into. Well, she is calling him her twin flame. That's what she has, like a whole like poetry thing about it and everything. And they're the perfect fit and meant to be together. Oh, she did call. See, I didn't know that she called BK her twin flame. What the fuck? I think that she should probably dial it back a little bit and actually put in some work and study, because she's doing this all wrong. You're doing it wrong, Jajajajaa. Thank goodness she kept doing that every time she would type in a chat, though. Hey, good to see you, Jajajajaa. Look, I'll show you what one of her comments used to look like. That's her comments right there. She probably, I'm going to analyze her. The reason she would want a man who doesn't take care of his family is because she thinks she's Little Miss Fix It. And she, in her mind, is going to be his saving grace. She is going to be the one who motivates him and changes him and does all of the things that the perfect partner would do. But she doesn't have her shit together. So it's just like, it's fast tracking to a collision course, basically. Because she is not going to be able to fix him. She can't even fix herself enough. I remember that when I used to talk to her, there was always some kind of issue. There was her alleged abuser was harassing her or had stalked her or done whatever. And I will not, like, I don't like talking about people's abuse stories, but because I've heard both sides somewhat, I think that she exaggerated a lot of things. I really do. And I could be totally wrong. But it's my assessment that she probably exaggerated a lot. Which is sad, because you're putting this shit out into the universe where your children could one day stumble across it yeah, fixing dudes that are losers. Mm-mm. And I've done it before where like I was going through my own shit and I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I would find a project and I would try to fix that person. And it never, ever worked out in my favor. It just messed me up even more in the long run. And I've been through it, which is why I can take a step back and look at this situation and be like, oh, hell no. Part of it is comical and hilarious, and I giggle about it every time I look at that stupid crap she posted. And part of it is just like, this girl is going to be worse off than she is right now if she doesn't get away from this dude. I mean, what could he possibly be offering her? Nothing other than the fact that she can run around and cryptically say, I'm Easy's girlfriend. I'm his twin flame. Let's write a song about it. Jajajajaaaa. I'll write a song about it. Oh my gosh. It makes my head spin. But in the fact that you have these unsuspecting people, and she's not the first person that I've heard come on here and talk about twin flame. If you remember, Bob and Lori thought they were twin flames too. Remember the crap. What? I don't even remember their channel name. Hey, Catlin. Hello to everyone that's just coming in. They did those little games. They like reenacted the Sims games and like made them as YouTube creators. It was cheesy, but they thought they were twin flames. And just look at them now. They're no longer together. At least I think they broke up. I'm pretty sure they did a while back. Yes, Ion Entertainment. Yes. No Ion Entertainment. Um yep, another US and Canadian love story. Why is that so common around YouTube? There's been others too, right? Like AB and Tiffany. I'm sure there's more. That shit never works out, people. I have seen more YouTube love connections recently than I've seen in the whole time I've been on here. And it cracks me up. It really does. We have another one in the community. Are they twin flames? Katie and Bird. Do they even like That's another one that's going nowhere. I'm going to have to like make a chart of all the YouTube love connections. Freeside is everyone's love connection. Like if I had to pluck someone out of the chat, I'd pluck Freeside probably because he is like the easiest one to get along with. He doesn't bother anybody for the most part. He's nice to everybody. I mean, he obviously has his shit together because we haven't ever heard any craziness. So, yeah. The ones that go out here and, think that they are like top shit and above everyone else, those are the ones you got to watch out for. Because usually they're going to be the ones that turn out to be the biggest pieces of shit. The biggest. Well, Ash, it does give you an opportunity to talk to them and try to figure stuff out. But at the same time, it gives you a chance to talk to the person they want you to see. You don't really get down to the thick of it until you actually see that person in person. Oh, the meth smoking woman in love with the copper stealing man. Yes. Dragon Mama and Charlie, Traders and Anissa. And some love stories may take off and work out and be beautiful, and they might live happily ever after. But in the case of Jaja and Easy, I don't see that happening. And the reason I don't see it happen is, like I said, it's because of their personal issues that are still very much up in the air, all over the place, not sorted. She obviously hasn't dealt with the trauma she says she's endured. And he is literally in and out of court right now. His top priority should be um, building a relationship with his children. That should be what's most important to him. And that would be something that would be impressive, right? That could impress her. Like, hey, he was a scumbag and he like worked his ass off and worked 4 jobs and did this and that, and he went to court and he did what he was supposed to do. Until he does that, he's nothing. He's nobody. He's literally out here doing verbal combat with about 8 people in chat, and nobody knows what he's talking about. For the longest time, I forgot he existed until this whole twin flame crap came out, and until he showed up at her house drinking out of her cup. Why choose a cup that had her name on it? That's what I want to know. The bitch has to have more than one cup in her house, right? She's got kids. So to me, it was just a little staged to make sure that he picked that cup. Maybe she made sure to give him that cup. I bet it was a situation like that. She got up and wanted to impress him, so she like made him coffee and put it in a cup with her name on it, because that way she basically marked her territory, which is so weird. Let's just hope that there's not a mini Jajajajaaaa that comes out of this situation, because that would be bad. Because then she would see firsthand exactly how he is not her twin flame, because he would leave her in the dust. If she got knocked up, dear Lord, it is a special cup and it is definitely staged. Yes, to have someone like him in her apartment with her young children, that is strange to me. There's no way that I am going to bring anyone from the YouTube, especially a male, and have them in the house with my children. And I only have one young one, and she's not super young. She's 10. My other ones are older, but I'm just not going to do it. You know, if there's an axe murderer out there, let him get me first. See, there's some things that she has said to me that gave me cause for pause, where I was like, okay. I mean, put it this way, I have like 180 something unread messages from her on Discord. And I didn't like make a big production about not talking to her anymore. I just quietly exited the situation and just left it at that. It pissed me off when she left the Stands Discord. That's when I was like, I washed my hands of her, period, done at that point, because the way she left, um, yeah. Some of it was about the daycare stuff. And then it was just always, she was a one-upper, right? Like, I was going through something at the time, and if I said anything to her, she had to one-up it. I don't like that shit, like, that's not a quality I look for in a friendship. Um, I prefer to have my friends, like, be more like a reciprocal thing. I don't need to hear, I don't know, maybe I'm just a bitch, but Yes, we're discussing the Jajajajaaaa easy twin flame phenomenon. Yeah, there was some weird stuff, and I would probably have a lot more to say if I would open those 180 something messages, but they're just sitting in my inbox. I can't be bothered because I got enough of my own shit going on, like, oh, I don't need all that too. And it was just like one after another, like hitting me hard with messages. And she had my phone number too. So it wasn't just the Discord, I was getting text messages too. So I had to end that. Yes, Jimbo. She thinks that Easy is her new twin flame. Yeah, 180. That's crazy. I'm sorry, but if anybody sends me that many messages, we all know that I'm horrible about answering Discord messages to begin with because I don't have my notifications on. If I did, it would drive me up the wall. So I just have to happen to see them. That's how it's going to work out. And yeah, for it to get up that high. Yeah, that's kind of the impression that I got too. It made me feel that whole daycare topic made me very uncomfortable. Like it was very unsettling and I just couldn't do it. I think a lot of us felt the same way, Paisley. Like when I watched how, like, because up to that point, she had been in, like, she was in BK's Discord, but I didn't really frequent that Discord very much. Um, I would just check in like once a day and um I just never really got too deep into it. And in fact, I wasn't even in my own Discord. I'm still not. I couldn't tell you what's going on in my own Discord server these days. I haven't been in there in like over a year. Um, so when I got to Jimbo's Discord and I saw how she was like really laying it on thick and just going overboard with the I love you, brother. You're my family, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, this chick is a lot. She is a lot, way more than I care to handle. And she thought it was a lot like how she did at Benny. She thought that she was top shit and anything had to go along with that. Yes, I will try to dig up stuff. I'll see what I still have that I've already opened about that, and then I will let you guys know. I'm not going to talk about that publicly because it's just bleh. I'm just um yes, I remember she wanted a wrench. Yeah, she was working at a daycare and the girl never went to work because someone was always sick. Anytime there was a crisis, it's because she couldn't go to work. Someone was sick. Like, if you're all are that sick that much, go get some tests done or something, which I understand. Little kids get sick all the time from being around other little kids. They have cooties and snotty noses. They wipe snot all over the back of their hands and they eat dirt and stuff like that. I get it. And then the way she left the stands Discord, I could have punched that girl right in both her eyes at that point. like she wanted it to be known she was leaving. It was just drama. Everything with her is drama. Like someone needs to douse that bitch with a water hose because she is that thirsty. Like I don't think a little cup of water would do good for her. Like you just got to saturate her. And usually when somebody comes across as that like over, but she was shady. She got a little attitude when she left the Discord. I believe there was some screenshots that were an issue. She was just a sneaky, snaky bitch. And she tried to act like she didn't do anything wrong. Jimbo could probably tell the story better than me, but from what I recall, she like was trying to do the convince him that she would never do this or that. I love you. You're my family. And all of that. Like it was that kind of thing. It was a very loud exit, a look at me exit. And then now that's where how she ended up over at Easy's, smooching up to him. And now they're going to make Jaja babies. I never see her around any chats anymore. I don't even know. And honestly, because I haven't gone in and taken away any wrenches, I think she still has one on this channel. There's so many wrenches that I still need to take away. Wait, what? Did I miss something? She's going to be the next hit on like a home run. Like a home run. What the fuck is up with his lyrics? I'm trying to see what like happened in the chat. Let me scroll for a minute. Please stand by. Once again, if anyone wants to give me all their money, it's CJ0024. Yeah, I can't figure out what's going on. So anyway, my prediction for this twin flame fiasco is going to be that there is going to be a lot of heartbreak and a lot of cussing each other out when it's said and done. She's going to be crying and twerking, and he's going to be writing funky songs about it. And it's just going to be bad. He's going to move on to the next one. But, I mean, his options are slim to none. Does he even have any girls that hang out in his chats anymore? In the beginning, when he thought he was all that, his chats used to be full of girls. I mean, it used to be full of people, period. Nobody goes over there anymore. And it's a shame that he quit his job and made streaming his full-time gig, right? Because he kind of sucks at it. Oh, yeah. That's the only reason. We were just talking about people that have been in YouTube relationships. No biggie. I didn't say anything bad about you. She should have been crying while she was twerking in that video because she did a horrible job at it. She should have been crying from embarrassment. That's another thing her children could stumble across, because I know that video's out there all over the place. I still have it somewhere. I would never, like, I don't think I would post it publicly just because I don't want to be the one that subjects her children to it. Now, if someone else posts it publicly, I'll watch it and I'll laugh. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. The next funniest thing was that stupid poem she posted about him, about how they're the perfect fit. I'm going to post that on my community page right after we finish. Kat, she said she was twerking on the floor because she said that, let me see if I can remember correctly. I think she said that she had made that video and sent it to someone privately because they wanted to know how to do a specific dance. That's what I think the story was. It was supposed to be just between her and her friend, and it got out and people were making fun of her of it. In fact, once that video came out, she like cried to me about it, and then she quit showing her face for a little bit because she was embarrassed. Well, that was an appropriate response. This whole twin flame thing is not an appropriate response. Oh, she said that someone told her she couldn't twerk and she had to show off her skills. See, I think there must be a couple of different stories out there, which would be par for the course because she's a liar. So that would be one of the things that they have in common, right? That could be like a way that they mirror each other, is they're both liars. Yes, the flip-flops and the shorts and the tank top that she made sure her bra straps were showing. Kat, I don't think she has looked into twin flames at all, because if she did, she would know that it's not a black and white thing. It's not just, oh, we're meant to be. It's not about that. There's a lot more ugly that comes with it than there is good things, because it's a very painful process to go through. Yeah, I think probably a lot of people got a different story. It just depended on who she was talking to. But she's a shady bitch. Um, and he is a scumbag. So that would be another way that they kind of mirror each other. They're both losers. That's what we should do. We can like connect the dots of ways that they mirror each other. Maybe when we get through about 459 negative things, we might find something good. Probably the only positive thing I could think of is the fact that they're both human. He thought Twin Flames was a weird cult. No, it's not. Like when you start like really looking into the whole twin flame dynamic, it's very interesting. I mean, I'll be glad to do like a more in-depth talk about it one day. Cause I don't know, like I wouldn't want anyone to like listen to all of that and then look at their partner and be like, what the fuck? You're not even meant to be with me. No, I'm kidding. That wouldn't happen. There could be, Beth. There very well could be a video of him out there twerking. We know there's videos out there of every stripper in Canada twerking on him. Yeah, I'll do a whole live about twin flames. We'll do one next week. And I'll go over the basics and stuff like that. And then we'll do one on karmics, and then we'll do one on soulmates. Because you guys, I'm not even joking. I have to go live more because I have to do a lot of e-bagging between now and the end of the month. Kat, you have to do a live with me too one day. We still haven't done ours together. Yes. At this point in time, she is the chaser, and Easy's the runner. Now, there's also, you have the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and the divine feminine doesn't necessarily mean the female because um men and women, we both have masculine and feminine sides to us. So, yeah, it is a struggle, and you do come together peacefully. That's when you get back to union, right? After the period of separation. And the thing is you can't force when that happens. If you try to force when it happens, it's going to fall apart. It has to happen organically. Hit it like a jaja, like a jaja. I could probably, yes, I'll do an interview, Jimbo. I need to make money. It's, I do. I have no shame, but it's for a good cause. Let me. Yep, that was the same as me. I'm the runner. Um, I found that out many years ago in therapy. I have always run from everything good, just about, because that was my defense mechanism. And more often than not, it made me even more miserable. And, you always hear about right person, wrong time. That's a common thing. I'm totally a runner. There's certain things that make me uncomfortable. Um, People being too overbearing and latching on too much too quickly, that will make me run. Um, I have a hard time trusting when people are too nice. I'll run from that. I'm definitely I'm a lot to handle. Like it takes a special person to be able to handle me. But it's, because things in my life have made me the way that I am, and I'm dealing with that shit, which is what Jaja should be doing. What? She said your mom, oh, because your mom's not here anymore. See, that's creepy as fuck. That would definitely be something that would cause me to run like hell. Um, and it's not that I don't believe in stuff like that because I absolutely do. But I wouldn't, like, my mom's not here anymore either. I don't think that my mom's gonna, if my mom selected someone from YouTube to reach out to me, I don't think it would be someone like her. God, I can't tell you how many times a day I get messages on TikTok from like people that I follow, and they'll reach out and they're like, my energy is at an all-time high today and something told me to reach out. Can you tell me your sign? And I never tell them that I'm a Leo, right? I'll just pick a sign. And they're like, oh, I knew it. I'm looking for people to randomly give a reading to. Are you interested? I have so many things to tell you. I always just respond and I'm like, yeah, I don't have money for a reading, but thanks. Like I could do my own. Hey, Redstone and Daisy Joe, Night Stalker, everyone coming in. I like it when, just a few of us can get together for these lighthearted, silly conversations. talking a little shit about people. This was just a topic I couldn't let this opportunity pass me by because it's been so long since we've brought attention to that lunatic. And yes, it's a good thing that I know how to undo curses, and I always make sure that I am well protected. So don't be coming at me with no crazy hex because I will flip it and reverse it on your ass. I hope everything's okay, Daisy Joe. And that's another thing I can talk about. One day I'll talk about simple things you guys can do to protect yourselves, especially on social media, especially if you click on anything that has to do with uh, witchcraft, astrology, anything that doesn't fit into your normal little societal box. Because you never know who is on the other end of that screen. And there are people that will hex you just for telling them no, that you don't want one of their readings. But that's how they make their living, right? They reach out to new followers and they're like, hey, I woke up with you on my mind and I'm so glad you followed me. It's just weird. So weird. Mini Me is going to be getting out of school soon. This kid, oh, we have so many pumpkins we have to decorate. We have to decorate one for 4-H. Um, we have to do one for her class. Well, not her class, but like her grade because they're having a contest. And then we have soccer tryouts coming up. She wants to run for a 4-H officer. And then at the end of October, they're doing like it's a family fun night, kind of like a fall festival at school. So the dance line does a clinic every year where like the younger kids they get to go to a dance clinic and then they perform for the family fun night. So we have that coming up and then she has to perform at the high school football game. It's like October really kicks it off for us as far as school stuff, like leading all the way up through the holidays. It's a lot. I don't really mess with the dark stuff per se, but I know how to maneuver my way around it and things like that. But people, there's evil people out there, and unfortunately, it has like become so mainstream now that you have a bunch of people who just want to jump on the bandwagon and they're reckless and they don't really know what they're doing. That's why, like, for the love of peanut butter and jelly, if anyone random ever like reaches out to you and wants to give you a reading, like, don't, if you want to do it for fun, go right ahead. But unless it's someone you know or who has a good reputation, just don't take it to heart because they can. Let me see the best way to describe this. You could be going through a shit ton of stuff, and someone could give you just a very generic reading that could apply to so many different things. A good card reader will tell you only take from this what applies to you. Oh, fall break already. That's crazy. There's like this. Uh oh. Charlie just went live. So when I finish up in a minute, I can send all of you over there. um, yeah, this whole hurricane situation, like, and just with the world in general, it's like people need to really take a step back and reevaluate the things that are important to them. Jaja, I'm speaking to you. Like, because it's obvious that the world is slow burning right to the end, right before our very eyes. It's crazy. And it's leaving so many people in such a helpless situation. Like, how do you even begin to recover from something like that? How do you recover from everything that you have just literally floating away from you, and not being able to find your loved ones or your family members, or not having a job to go to, not having places where you can go buy food to feed your family, and you can't go stay at a hotel because the whole banking systems in those areas have gone to shit. You can't go get cash out. Hopefully you can still use like a debit card if you can get to a place where there's an open store. I saw a woman on TikTok today that was like reaching out. She was like making a public plea for people to get out there and start removing the bodies from the sides of the roads that have washed up, and there's so many people that are unaccounted for, and they may never be found. Like, I remember when our river flooded like a couple of years ago, and we had all those heavy rains, and there was like there was houses that were on the riverbank that were destroyed. And the river here that separates the town I live in from the next biggest town, which is an Air Force town, um, when that flooded, it goes all the way to Texas. That river runs through Texas. It happens all the time where they will pull a body out of the river here, and it's someone that literally was missing in Texas, and they floated all the way down here. That's my biggest fear. Like, if I have to go in a traumatic way, I don't want it to be by fire, and I don't want to drown. Because I have COPD, I already know what it's like not to be able to breathe. I couldn't imagine like the feeling of drowning. That would just, ugh. But I mean, it has happened. And when Katrina happened here, which I didn't live here at the time, I lived in North Carolina. So I watched it all on the news. It's just, yeah, I can imagine, Beth. Like, we still have family in North Carolina, like in the Huntersville and Davidson area. And they actually flew out right before everything happened to go on a cruise. But you like see pictures of these places that I've been to that are just not there anymore. It's nuts. And that's just the tiniest tip of the iceberg in comparison to what we have to look forward to on Earth. Like, this is just the very beginning. The worst is nowhere near yet to come. Hopefully, I'm not around for that, honestly. But it sucks because I know that it could very well happen in my children's lifetime or my grandchildren's. And that's a little scary. That's a little unnerving. But, we can't let things like that force us to live in constant fear. All we can do is wake up every day and try to do better than we did the day before. Because life is short. So yeah, my heart definitely goes out to all the people. I can't watch like continuous coverage of it because my heart needs a break. It's sad. But I do like check in every day and kind of see where everything's at and any progress that's being made. And part of me is like pissed at the government because I don't feel like they're doing enough. But then another part of me is like, I'm sure there are a select few of officials and things like that who feel the same way I do. They feel like they're not doing enough, but they're helpless. Like, what can they possibly do? And I heard someone talking about like the $750 checks that they're giving to people. And someone made the point like, great, you have a $750 check. How are they getting them? How are they distributing them? They're not mailing them to people who need them. It's not like people can get in their cars and drive somewhere and get them. Not everyone has that luxury. And then once they do get the check, what do? There's no stores around in some of these areas. People can't even get water to drink. And then you got people who are in like outlying areas who are buying everything up. And don't get me wrong, those that are buying it all up so that they can go distribute it to people, yay, I'm glad you're doing that. But the greedy assholes who are just buying it up because they don't want to run out, shame on you. That's amazing to donate $2 million. See, if I had money like that laying around, I would totally give all I could. Hey, little G. That's what I did today, Catlin. I watched cheesy Halloween movies. I watched that movie, Hell House. It was like made to look like a documentary of like a haunted house gone wrong. It was cheesy, but I don't know. And now I'm like watching season 8 of American Horror Story again. I don't know. Like Halloween movies just aren't what they used to be. Oh, All the Quiet Places are good. And let's see. I like that movie Sinister. I like the first one. I like The Strangers, the original one. I don't like The Strangers Come at Night or whatever. It's like the second one. I didn't really care for that one. Skunk. That would be something. That would be a perfect project for those script writers that we have running around YouTube. There's a project for you. American Horror Stories, Easy and Jaja. There is a lot of money in this country, but it's like our country's so in debt to all these other pissed off countries, and I don't know. Like, I never imagined, like, when I was younger, I never imagined that the state our country is in would be something that I experienced. I haven't seen that Saw. Maybe I need to watch it. I like Don't Say a Word. That's a pretty good one. Well, you guys, I'm going to have to go pick up Exhibit C. That's what I call my kids, Exhibit A, B, and C. Because she's going to be getting off the bus soon. So I will get something set up for next week and we'll go a little more in depth about what it is to be a twin flame. But I just had to poke fun at Jaja a little bit today. It's all in good fun. Don't go getting in your feelings, Jaja. If you do, you can wipe your tears with Easy's nuts. So I appreciate all of you for being here on this fine Friday afternoon. If you want to give me money, my Cash App's scrolling across the screen. There will be pictures and all kinds of stuff to come. And I'm going to post that little cheesy poem so everyone can get a giggle. Everyone have a great and safe weekend. Hug your loved ones because you never know if tomorrow is going to come, obviously. Be safe, everyone.